Down to his last stop. Is he going to get it before a minute passes? Won't. Let's see. He's right near the edge. Oh my God! Destruction!
Moments like this are the reason I got into Smash. We all know what Super Smash Bros. Is, a fun, action-packed 3D platform fighter. Whether you play with your friends or competitively, there was a time when this game was all I played. For endless days and nights, I would study the game's mechanics, picking your main, labbing combos, the list goes on. The game improved my social life by going to tournaments and making new friends. This game had a lot of positive impacts on my life, there is no denying that. Smash itself had a lot going for it as well. DLC announcements, major tournaments, and it seemed like Smash Ultimate was here to stay. But over time, the game I loved started to feel like a chore, a game I no longer put my effort into. So what happened? The one major event that I think we can all recall that changed our lives, as we all know, was the pandemic. I believe this was a turning point for Smash Bros. As a game and the competitive scene as a whole. We were forced to play the dreaded online. Nintendo's online, especially for Ultimate, is the worst online service provided to a consumer. Laggy gameplay, input delay, being kicked off a game, and your internet being blamed for it. It was and still is a disaster, but there was nothing we could do. We were forced to accept and endure the pain that is Nintendo Switch Online. And you know what? I said it is what it is, and joined numerous online tournaments that were hosted during the pandemic. Several fighting games are implementing rollback netcode. If you don't know what that is, in the most simplest terms, it makes for a smooth experience when you get on and play online. For a game that requires precise movements and inputs, it's unacceptable to have this kind of online experience. I mean, the holy creator himself hates the online as much as we do. That should say a lot. It just doesn't hit the same as playing in person. The tournaments were filled with lag. Despite rules requiring Ethernet connection, people were still using their McDonald's Wi-Fi. Not only was the fact that tournaments online was the issue, but no one would show up to the tournaments. You may have to wait for upwards of 30 plus minutes from the time the tournament began. The charm and spectacle of being at a tournament in person was gone. The social interactions and people you met through these tournaments were gone. I think the turning point for me giving up with Smash was when I lost a fucking Paul Blart Mall Cop in an online tournament. Imagine the feeling of losing to an infamous mall cop. After things started opening back up, I obviously needed some money, and the unfortunate reality was there was no money to make with Smash. Smash is the biggest outcast when it comes to the esports scene. I have never seen a game so neglected by its creators when it comes to the competitive aspect of this game. Nintendo hated anything to do with competitive Smash. All the money used in Smash tournaments never came from Nintendo. Why would I put all my efforts in a game where the reward isn't worth the effort? Companies like Activision pump millions into the competitive aspect of their games that make it worthwhile to players. The most recent examples of Nintendo's disdain for Smash as an esport was the cancellation of the Smash World Tour and the Panda Global Cup. The tournaments that did end up running in the past operated at a loss. In an article, a Smash Bros. Tournament organizer stated, most players at their rank 11 make less than minimum wage off of Smash. All of that time and dedication just to make $15 an hour. Beyond the Summit, an extremely popular Smash tournament host is also shutting down, while other people who are highly skilled in other games are making a decent living, even when they're not finishing at the top. The only saving grace competitive Smash has is its influencers. Creators like Ludwig and Hungrybox are keeping the competitive scene on a life support machine. They're hosting big tournaments with no assistance from Nintendo. This has always been a thing, but with the shutdown of event organizers like Beyond the Summit, it is looking quite grim. Safe to say, the golden age of hosting huge events for Smash like EVO and Summit are over. Individual assistants can only do so much compared to a large corporation like Nintendo. I would have loved to dedicate all my time to this game, but the reality is, it just isn't sustainable. Just like the meta. Keeping up with the meta of Smash Bros was absolutely exhausting. What combos are viable? Studying all 80 matchups, and this guy coming up with tech to change the meta. And then came the DLC, especially Steve from Minecraft. And these clips just speak for itself.
Personally not feeling confident in it. Oh, so we're just doing this off the bat, right? And, okay. Yeah.
The fact that I play as Donkey Kong and my opponent is Steve, I just rather not. The game at this point in its stage mentally exhausted me. As the meta kept changing throughout the years, it was very difficult to keep up. I got a job, I got a family, school, and before I know it, 10 different meta-changing tech and matchups slap me in the face. The game has changed so much to the point where DLC characters are facing a ban, aka Steve. Remember when people got mad at Heroes RNG? Yeah, well, Steve has said hold my beer. When it was discovered Steve can cancel hit stun so easily that it makes Steve God? Imagine getting punished for hitting your opponent. And you want to hear the funny part? Nintendo are finished updating the game. People are just saying, oh, they'll just fix it. It's game breaking. They can't have that in the game. No, it only affects the competitive scene. And remember what I said about Nintendo's feelings for the competitive scene? The casuals will be just fine, which means no patch. Nintendo hates all of you, and I'm sure they couldn't be happier seeing people stray further from the competitive scene. Listen, I still love Smash Bros. There's nothing more I want than this game to succeed. It actually makes me sad how hard Nintendo tries to bring this game and its fans down, and the shutdown of big events is added salt to the wound. However, this game gave me so much joy and some great memories. I regret absolutely nothing. I probably put thousands of hours into it and I don't regret a single minute. If you're still playing it casually and competitively and it brings you the same joy, then keep doing it. But for me, Smash has lost its magic touch, and I just prioritize other aspects of my life. I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. Let me know down in the comments section on how you feel about competitive Smash and Smash as a whole. But with that being said, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see y'all in the next one.